All right.
Alice, your 3-hour workshop tomorrow, is that going to be on, like, how do you do that with teachers for 3 hours?
Well, I would do it in person for 3 hours normally. So we're going to instead just do it remotely. I'm going to join them into a Google Classroom. And I try to always make it interactive where they get assignments. Like I would have model how I do it with students, show them how I set it up. They'll watch me. I'll wait. They'll try some things, come back. They can ask questions by putting it in the chat, which we all know that people are much more likely to ask a question if they can ask it digitally. Normally when I ask a room, does anyone have a question? No one says anything. But when you can just throw it in the chat, they're more likely to. What challenges do you think I'm gonna have, Kristen?
I guess keeping everyone engaged.
Why do you think it'd be different than face-to-face, where they're forced to sit there?
Oh, I think it's better doing it remote.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be just as enthusiastic. I'm going to be just as funny. Thanks, Brenda.
Right.
I mean, you guys are doing this with me. I hope I engage you. And you keep showing up. They can't be that bad. So
no, I think it's better you're doing it that way.
I think everyone's going to appreciate it. I was over at the math teacher's house this morning, and I'm like, I'm thinking about texting the principal. How do you think he would handle that? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, before I ask him, do you want to do it remotely? He's like, well, I would like to do it remotely. I'm like, I feel like I just got permission. So then I texted the principal and the vice principal, and I said, don't you think it'd be healthier if we did this remotely? And after a little back and forth, we decided we're going to do it. So, yay. I think everyone's going to like it better. Yeah, Lauren, Marie Louise likes to go by Mimi. So I would recommend
I know her. I'm thinking isn't she the one that I keep seeing on the treadmill?
Yes, Mimi's the one on the treadmill. Exactly.
That's the lady from the treadmill.
Yeah. So the both of you, when you do it in the chat, you might want to do dash Mimi and dash Lauren, since people see your other names otherwise. Just a tip. And anybody else who wants to be called something else. I would appreciate it if you would refer to me as the queen of spreadsheets, just so we're clear.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at rubrics in Google Classroom, and I think the easiest way to do that is for us to just go into Google Classroom and try it. Kathy, you got it. You will be exalted ruler. I'm writing it down. Kathy dash exalted ruler. And this is going to be the join code. As you know, you probably cannot join with your school account. I noticed today that they have a new interface when you join. I haven't tried to do a sample join in a while, so I don't know how new it is, but it's real nice because it shows you what account you're logging in with. Thank goodness. Let me do a screen share on that. I'm going to stop. Let me see. I'll just do it to my school one. So this is on my my school account. I got to figure out where that is. This one, I think. Okay, so when I go to the classes and I click the plus icon and I choose join, does your sign-in screen look like this? Hey, son, do you see how I'm on a video call? You got to be aware, please. Yes. I'll be happy to share my schedule with you and why you shouldn't be eating at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, mine looks like that.
Yes, that's new.
Yep.
All right. Because the problem is people are always emailing me. They're like, it won't let me in. It says the code doesn't work. I know it's because you're using your school email. They're like, no, I'm not. I know you think that because it switches on you. It's like not their fault. It just does. So, so now I think we'll be able to reduce that. That will be real nice for me. It won't really matter for our students because, of course, they're logging in with their school accounts. They're most likely on a managed Chromebook, and it will be fine. But for my purposes, it's going to make my life easier. So there is the code. What do you mean, Kristen? Did they change the code joining?
Like, did they change the way you present the code to the kids?
Not yet.
Okay.
Still the same, but there's a new feature. There's a new feature that you're going to be able to give them a link, and they can click on the link.
I heard about that.
For this for 5 years, honest to goodness.
Oh, so when is that coming out? Do you know, Alice? Or?
Hey, I need you to do me a favor, Kristen, and never ever ask me that again. They will never tell me. They will never tell me because
Okay.
if it's coming out on Tuesday, it probably won't. There'll be something that delays it.
Yep.
Whenever they give me a date, I roll my eyes because I think at least 50-50 ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it's already on. I know
Thank
it
you.
is. We've got it on the settings. You've got it on the settings.
You've got it on the
Yeah.
settings. You do?
I do. I've got it on the
What
settings.
is
And
it?
I don't
Where?
know.
If I click on the settings cog, where do you see it?
Down there, I've got another line that says a sharing link. I've got one.
How do I
Says
not
it.
have this? Okay, wait. I'm gonna go look at this on my school account. No, I don't have it there yet either. All right, so all features roll out. So they don't push out, they roll out. So if Lauren has it now, then Kristen, we should expect to have it within the next 2 weeks.
Right.
Probably.
All right. Thank you.
If I, like, I don't know. All right, it's not that big of a deal if you don't join, but if I have at least a few people, that will be good.
Alice?
Yes.
I don't see the question. I see the possible answers, but where's the question?
It's just rubrics.
It says rubrics class sample. And then it says, Alice Keeler posted a new question, number 1, Google Classroom rubrics. And then I don't see the question. It just says your answer. So
Yeah. I'm talking about rubrics. So answer it.
Okay. All right. So what do you know about rubrics? I guess that's it. Okay.
It's
I see.
implied.
I can turn off.
Mimi, we're gonna mute you, but unmute yourself often, okay?
I'm going to mute myself. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm going back and forth between the.
Well, I want you to unmute yourself, but when you're on the treadmill, you're breathing right into it, Mimi, I like to have the students put the code in themselves because then they know how to join one. I think it's important. I'm going to stick with that. I think they should put in the code, but for a lot of times, especially when I'm doing teacher PD, where I'm just trying to invite one person, I want to email them and say, click on this link. So for me, that's going to be awesome. Okay, great. Well, this is helpful information.
Can I show you that? Can I show you that, Alice?
What do you want me to show, Lauren?
I want to show the link that we already have.
You want to show it? Sure. Go ahead, present.
If I may.
Oh, yes, for sure. I'm excited.
I'm going to do my entire screen. I love Google Meet. So this is my English speakers class because I teach English,
Okay. So
and then I've got settings, right? And
This is
it's all in Hebrew, but
in Hebrew. I love it.
yeah, it's all in Hebrew. But you can see here, this one means link,
Yeah.
an invitation link, and it's this one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, hold that right there. I'm going to copy the link to my class. Leave it right there. I want to see if I can get the pattern. And then the code, here, my code. So yours says blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to put a question mark.
Translate it into English and see if it works.
And then my code, TBG,
Managed.
WAG. Okay. If you click on that, what does it
Yep.
do?
It's copied, and then I can send it to my kids. I can
Okay.
send them an email wherever I want to, maybe on my WhatsApp web or whatever.
But is anybody in the chat not in my class? If they click this, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to try it in my school one. Oh my gosh, that worked. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, that worked. Okay, so it is working. So what I just did is I looked at hers and I took the pattern. I copied the link from the top of my screen, and then I put the question mark CJC equals the code, and then the link worked. So was it Kristen? Kristen, it's working right now.
Oh, okay. So it's there. All right.
So it's not in the interface, but it's working. So do you see how in the chat I put it with the pattern?
Yeah.
So you copy I'm on the stream, you copy that link at the top, and then you put question mark CJC equals and the class code. And then that will allow people to join.
So great.
Oh, wow. So you actually typed in the question mark CJC equals?
Yes, that's what I did. I looked at her and I followed the pattern.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks, Lauren. It was very cool. Right.
You're welcome. I'm new, and I'm so happy that I could contribute something.
Of course. We should just do like a round table of sharing and make that one of the webinars. That would be fun. I want to see some of the things Mimi does with her radical unschooling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an unschooler too. Are you a fan of Clark Aldrich?
No, I don't know him. I'm John Holt and you know, John Taylor Gatto and Whole Language, Frank Smith.
Actually, like the expert in simulations for learning, like corporations creating a simulation for training and education. He's super cool.
Yeah.
But he has written a book about unschooling. So you might, it's real skinny.
Well, they're 26 now, you know. It's that they were totally self-directed, totally autodidactic. There was no forced teaching. Everything was verbal. And until they finally learned to read when they were 10 and 11. But I do have a friend who has two children. They were both raised. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Raised the exact same way. These are highly educated people. The daughter learned to read when she was 4.
Yeah.
But the son, who was an amazing musician, he didn't learn to read till he was 14. And he taught himself when he was 16. Did I tell you the story already?
No, but
when he was 16, these parents they just let these kids, they were in charge of their own education, just like I allowed my children. And the 16-year-old, he all of a sudden he decided, I think I'll learn some math. So he taught himself basic arithmetic at 16, and geometry, trigonometry, and calculus, and everything. You know, within 2 years, and he did it all by himself. So you know,
we gotta move on.
Sorry,
it's okay.
Sorry.
All right,
got me going.
So I'm going to, in the Google Classroom, I'm going to create an assignment, and what you'll notice is it says rubric down here in the corner, and I am going to name this number 002. Mark as done. And you'll know, oh, hey, that's new. It's nice when they add new things. They were forcing me to put instructions. Like I had to have something in there or it wouldn't light up. But now it is. I'm going to change the topic to today. I'm going to click on rubric. And you'll notice I have 3 options. I can create a rubric, I can reuse a rubric, or I can import from Sheets. I'm going to choose create. Come on. And it defaults to use scoring. And if anyone would like to hear me rant on the bad math of rubrics, I'm going to turn that off. And I don't think this is really super intuitive. It took me a little while to figure this out. Like, what does the criterion title mean? And those are your rows. So this one might be spells correctly. Why is this going so slow? All right, so according to the Common Core, you should spell correctly. And then as we learn from Thomas Geske, an expert in grading, is there's no such thing as exceeds. So if we could please stop putting that on our rubrics. If that's the criteria you expect them to meet, then it's meets expectations. If they get all top, do they get full credit? Then it's not exceeds. So unless you really mean that, don't use it anymore. And then you can describe what that would look like. All the words are spelled correctly. Now, of course, I'm not doing spells correctly. I'm doing mark as done. I forgot that. So. And you.
See.
Sorry, what?
No, it's Claudia that I was trying to talk, but at last my microphone worked.
Well, I'm glad. Did you want to ask?
No, I couldn't get into the meeting, my computer, I'm in the phone. So I don't know how to get it here in the computer.
So are you not able to see it, Claudia?
No, I'm the rubric, yes, but it hasn't shown in my screen. I don't know why. I have to refresh. Yes, I already, yeah, it's okay.
So Lauren, I don't like the Google Classroom rubrics. One of them is I feel like this is confusing and way too much clicking. Like, what? And I'll explain that in a minute. And then I'll show you how we're going to do it easier. Okay, Lauren? I got you on this. Clicked the button. Okay, and then approach is standard. They thought about clicking the button. And then below standard, did not click the button. I'm going to click save. So you see I now have a root one criterion. And I'm going to assign it to you. So if you can find number two, please. If you could find number 2. Oh, Claudia, do you need the code?
No, I'm in.
Oh, you're in. Okay.
I'm in.
Super. Okay.
Yes.
That's a shame because I was hoping to give you the link to click on so we could see that it works. Thanks to Laura.
I was trying to talk to you, but I couldn't take the microphone off. I don't know why.
I can't figure out why when I use my headphones, I cannot hear you guys. It seems weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that I was having I was resting, so I remembered of the meeting, and then I connected with the phone. But when you said that you were going to use a Google Classroom, said I have to connect in my computer.
Oh, yes. So Claudia, you're all set now, though, right?
Yes, I'm listening to you in the phone, and I'm working in the computer with the Google Classroom. I should be doing everything in the computer. I don't want to get out of because I don't have the link. I don't know why of the Meet. It disappeared from my Google Calendar. I don't know why. Something I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. Weird things happen. I have learned to stop saying it won't. You're wrong. It's not doing that. I've learned to stop it. Weird things happen all the time. 1 second, my friends. W.
No,
What's happening outside?
I was in the wrong account.
In the front yard, I believe there are 6-year-olds driving go-karts up and down the street. Maybe you want to
Okay, aquí está. Yes.
go ahead at Bacon, go outside.
I don't have a go-kart.
They just went down the street, so go. The neighbors have cars that are run by gas, but maybe you would drive them on sand or something. You know, they're not for driving on the street. And they see that little kids are driving them up and down the street. So I figured my son would want to do this.
Okay.
Trying to win Mom of the Year.
I could connect in the computer. I'm gonna join now and
Okay.
show. Okay.
Okay. All right, so you'll notice when I click on the stripe or not, it's lagging. When I click on the stripe, it shows me that there's a rubric on this assignment. And this is real important because if you want to share the rubric, you got to click on it here. I know, it's confusing.
Mom, it was just neighbors.
I know it's just the neighbors. You can hang out with them.
They were just trying to get presents.
Why don't you just go ask them if they can drive you up and down the street?
No.
Okay, then beat it. My children. So when you're in here, you're able to review the rubric. You'll notice there's no student names or anything. And real subtle is this 3 dots that allows you to edit the rubric or export it to sheets. So if I choose export to sheet,
Okay.
well, it just saves to my Google Drive. It doesn't do anything special, and I don't have to save it. I don't have to file it or anything. If I shared this with you, oops. Okay, so what I did is I copied the link at the top. I copied the link at the top. I think I didn't do this right. Let me do it again. No, I did it right. And I put /copy instead of /edit. If you click on that link in the chat, does it give you a copy of my rubric?
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't have to do anything. Because the way to add rubrics to Google Classroom is just to have a spreadsheet. So if I share the spreadsheet with you, then you can put the rubric into your Google Classroom really, really easily. But let's look at it what it looks like this way. I'm going to click on the number turned in. And I'm going to click on Mimi's. And I can see the rubric right here. Now, if I click on this little double arrow thingamajigger, it's going to let me see the description. But if I hover, I can also see the hover text. This thing is lagging.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice it scrambled them? I'm going to click here where it says mark is done. If you click on the rubric criteria, it'll expand it. Come on.
Okay. And
And
then
this glitch, you see, these are scrambled. So if you would not mind, please click the question mark in Google Classroom and report issue. Report an issue and say the rubric, not the criteria, the rubric, what are these called? Columns. The rubric columns don't stay in the right order. And so this takes me twice as long because I would expect, I always want the top one on the left, right? Meet standard should always be on the left. So I should just be able to go down, click, 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 meets, meets, meets. Except I have to expand it out to figure out where it is because it scrambles them. And that has to be a bug. That has to be a bug. That drives me nuts. So I click meets expectations so that Mimi would get the feedback. you'll notice that I have to return this. Pretty sure. Mimi, can you double check that you cannot see the rubric score? All right, now Kristen, she thought about it. I'm gonna click here to expand it so I can read it. She approached the standard. She thought about it.
Right.
So, Mimi, are you able to see your, I don't think you can see your rubric score, can you? No. So I have to return. So approaches. All right, I'm gonna say, oh, Claudia, this is so interesting. It says K for Claudia on Google Meet. It says C in the Google Classroom. All
I'm
right.
here. I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Pero es que I'm with the wrong account. Well, okay.
I see.
Okay, I have my 2 accounts open, so
So I am going.
should I get out and then
No,
come
no,
in?
you're perfect. You're perfect.
Okay.
I was just
No.
noticing your name was spelled differently in the 2 places.
Yes, because that's like a team issue that I had.
All right, so I am going to return, and now that please check your rubric. I make sure that I tell the student. Kristen, you got like truck behind you. I tell the students, hey, I marked on your rubric. I'm going to return it. So if you could look, what does it look like to you now that I returned the rubric? Can you see that I gave you a score?
Okay.
So
Let me
what
check
you
it.
do is let me, on the classwork page, where my button says create, your button would say view your work.
Okay. It says your work graded.
And then now where, click on it, you got to open it up. Can you find your rubric score?
Well, it says the third box it's scored because it's green. The other 2 boxes below standard and approaches standard are white. So I assume I received a meets expectations as my grade, right?
If you would like to define grades like that, sure.
Well, or as my feedback, whatever you want to call it.
Would anybody be willing to screen share and show what it looks like for the student to find the rubric?
Yes.
Please do.
I can do it.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Lagging my computer also.
Sure, sure. So there's 2 ways. While she's working on screen, there we go. Oh no, she joined her other computer. Perfect. I see.
Okay, sorry.
You're
Yeah.
good.
That. Listen. That. Is it this?
Yes, yes. Do you see where it says rubric class sample in the upper left?
I couldn't listen to you.
On the upper left where it says rubrics class sample.
Yes. So do I go to classwork
Yes, ma'am.
or to stream?
Yeah,
Here.
classwork.
Classwork.
And then
Here?
click on view your work.
Your assignment.
There you go. There you go. Yes. So then they'll be able to see the rubric that you scored in there. But you have to return it. They won't see the score if you don't return it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Is it only three levels here?
That's all I did for this sample one, yes.
Okay, but normally we use 4, right? No, or that is.
We could have a whole conversation about making rubrics, and that would take too long.
Okay.
So that's a good question. I would like to say there's not any normally. I think you should not have more than 4.
Okay.
Probably. Just because we're really not able to be that accurate. But a lot of times I do use 3, to be honest.
I always use 4.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and steal the screen sharing. Thank you for doing that, Claudia. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay, I'm
And
stop.
this.
Present.
Yes, you're good. You're good. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to create an assignment. I'm going to call it number 003 scored rubric. And what I want you to do is I want you to click on the add create button. I want you to create a Google Slides and tell me your favorite food on the slide and to add a Bitmoji or selfie. Okay?
Okay.
And I am going to make this worth 17 points. And I'm going to click rubric. I'm going to create a rubric. This time I'm going to use scoring, even though I hate this feature and I think that it is pedagogically not good, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So my first criteria was that you created slides. And I'm going to have this worth 3 points. And then this is meets expectations. And then my description is going to be use the create button and added a Google Slides to the Google Classroom assignment. Okay, and then I'm going to add using the little plus icon, and this one I'm going to make it a 2. Now, I have a real problem with this because rubric scores are not points, right? If you have a 4-point scale, your grades cannot possibly be 100%, 75%, F, and really low F. That is bananas. So just remember that points and rubric score are not the same. They are not the same. If you approach expectations, I knew I spelled that wrong, make Google Slides outside of Google Classroom. And 1 point, if you're below expectations, you did something. And then if you would like a 4th one, 0 points is missing, and you did nothing. I can change the numbers. So what I want you to point out is the points is not rubric. The points is points. And you got to do your own math. Because you can't say like this is 20%, this is 10%, which again, I don't think you should do that anyway, but whatever. Now when I add a criterion, you know, it's added your favorite food. What did I ask you to do? I don't know.
No.
Okay,
Add
so
a Bitmoji or a selfie.
yes, that was the 3rd one, but didn't I tell you to tell me your favorite food?
No.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
So this one, I'm going to make this worth 19 points. And you, on this, okay, this one meets expectations. And on the slide, put your favorite food. And I'm going to put the little plus icon. And then for approaches standard, should meet standard. You know, I'm going to make that one worth 7 points. I'm just trying to be intentionally ridiculous. Put something on the slide. And then for what just happened here? For 3 points, I've got below standard. Ate some food today. I don't know. Why did it scramble? Why did it do that? 0. Missing. Nothing. I'll add a criterion. Points. I'm going to give you 5 points. Meets, oh yeah, Bitmoji or selfie. Meets expectation as a Bitmoji or selfie. And then missing, 0 points. No Bitmoji. So, I mean, part of the advantage is you don't have to, if you do 4 criteria or 4, dang it, whatever these columns are called, levels, you get 4 levels on these ones, but you don't have to have it on these ones.
Okay.
Now, if you want, and I don't understand this, I can, on this one, do the 3 dots, and I can duplicate the criterion.
Okay.
Watch this. Why would you want this? It duplicated all of it. The only thing I wanted to duplicate is points and title level. I don't want to duplicate the title and the description. So now I got to delete that. Turned in. Turned in. Did work, but did not turn in. Did something. And then missing. I don't know, right? So I've gone through here. You'll notice my rubric is worth 46 points. I'm intentionally being ridiculous, my friends. I'm intentionally being ridiculous. This first criterion is worth 3 points max. My second criterion is worth 19 points max. My third criterion is worth 19 points max. And my last criterion is worth 5 points max for a total of 46. And then I'm going to save. All right, so my topic is today, and I'm going to assign this. And if you would please find number 3, add a Google Slides, put your food on the slide, and add a Bitmoji or selfie, and of course, turn it in.
How do I put in our selfie?
On the slides, you'll use the insert menu and choose image from camera. Is one way. There are others. I'll do that one.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Just wait. I'm looking for this turned in number to indicate that I can move on. I just got a voicemail from my friend. She says, I just want to know where you are. Because apparently I have to be kept track of. I am at my house, if anyone is curious where I am.
Alice?
Yes.
Okay, so All right, I'm on my slide 2. I'm trying to insert an image, right? And I go to camera, and it says no camera selected. Please check your camera's connection and ensure your camera is not already in use by another application.
Well, and your camera is being used by me, so that might be it. That might be the
Right.
problem.
Okay.
Also, you need to make sure when you try to insert things using the camera, there's might be 2 places you have to approve the camera. That's possible. Just gonna grab a tissue real quick.
Okay. I'm going to try Bitmoji.
Yes. Okay, one of you have turned it in. Awesome. Two.
I don't know where to find a Bitmojis.
You don't have the Chrome extension?
Yeah, well, I think, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
You just
I
do a
do.
whole workshop on Bitmoji.
But I don't know if it's in my
So,
personal
friendly
account.
reminder is if I click on rubric when I'm on the classwork page, that allows me to review the rubric and allows me to get a copy of the rubric that I could share with somebody. Oh, there it is. Right? I can look it over. Clicking on it doesn't do anything. And it's if I go to these 3 dots up here, oh, my computer's lagging. Here's a rule.
Alice,
Yeah.
how do you share the rubric with like another teacher?
It's wicked easy. When I'm not in the edit screen, just when I'm in the looking at the classwork page, I click on the rubric so it shows me a preview of the rubric. And I click export to sheets. All you have to do is share the spreadsheet. Just share it. It's a regular spreadsheet. It's a Google Sheets. It saves in Google Drive. You just share it with them. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Okay.
So
And then they can upload it into their Google Classroom?
I'm gonna export this to Sheets. So I'll show you, I'll have you practice this in a second. You would just click the share button. And I'd be like, whoever you want to share it with, send it to them.
Do they need editing rights?
They do not need editing rights, I'm pretty sure. So I've taken this rubric, this ridiculous rubric that I just made, I put the link in the chat so that when you make a copy of it, you own it. They don't have to make a copy, Kristen, but I usually make them make a copy. Then they can customize it to their heart's content.
Okay. Thank you.
So just remember, you have to export it to Sheets to share it. All right, so I'm going to click on the number of you who've turned it in. I'm going to click on Kathy. It's going to open up her Google Slides.
I haven't been able to insert my, oh, that's nice.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I don't know, it's my computer is like my Bitmoji. So yeah, it already appeared. Okay, yeah.
Huh.
Let me see where I am.
I'm not sure why. Now, the first thing I do when I open up an assignment in Google Classroom is I click on the person's name, the little tiny triangle where it says turned in, and I switch it to sort by status. For whatever reason, that doesn't stick. Why would I just want to randomly alphabetically go through everyone? I don't know. I just want to look at the people who turned it in. So the first thing I do is I sort it by status. And then you can see I have the rubric here in the sidebar. And there's a little drop down arrow if I'm like what are those little buttons? See, if I hover, I can see that she created Google Slides. She met expectations. It automatically typed the number of points, and it has automatically scaled it out of 17. Remember, it's out of 46, but the assignment's actually only worth 17. Like I said, I on purpose made this ridiculous. On the next one, I'm going to drop down here because I want to see, okay, she put her favorite slide on food on the slide. So she met standards on that one.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, it wasn't it. I can clear it. A little clear option. She turned it in, so that's meets standard. And she has a Bitmoji or a selfie. She meets the standard. And then I can leave a private comment and post it. Now she's not going to see, she's gotten 17 out of 17. She's not going to see this until I return it. I don't return it from the feedback tool because I can't leave a return comment. But if you don't care about that, you can.
Okay.
I go to the next student. I click this little arrow up here at the top, and I go to the next student. Oh, good.
This is me.
Oh, there we go. We've got on multiple pages. Look at you.
That's me.
So I am going to expand this out so I can click meets expectations. She added her favorite food, meets expectations. She turned it in, meets expectations. And she has a Bitmoji or a selfie, so she meets expectations, and then I can return it. This is not a rubric. This is a scoring guide. People call it a rubric, but rubrics shouldn't work like this. It's not a real rubric. Huh. Okay, oh good, Mimi. I'm glad I cannot give you full credit. So let's see what happens to Mimi. Okay, Mimi created a Google Slides. She added her favorite food. She turned it in. But she does not have a Bitmoji or selfie. So she got a 0. So now I can see it automatically gave her 15.15 points. Guys, go outside. Go outside. Turn off the Roblox. Turn it off and go outside. Don't come back for an hour. Oh. 2 o'clock on a perfectly lovely day. What should I be doing right now? Beat it. The joys of working from home. I'm not going to return it because I don't like to do that. I like to go to the next student. I see Kristen has turned in 2. So the first slides, I'm like, what the heck, Kristen? But she did it twice. Now, if I just hover, she meets expectations. She meets the standard. She turned it in. And unless she's a bear, she has no Bitmoji.
That was a bear in my yard.
Are you a farmer? Is it a Bitmoji or a selfie? No. Next. All right. She makes expectations. She added her food. She turned it in. And she has a Bitmoji. Go to the next student. We'll all be done in 5 minutes, Mimi. All right. Okay, so we got here meets. See, here's the thing. Mostly it's meets. It better be that everyone's meets. Why does it not default to full credit so I can do this faster? Send them feedback. All right, I'm just going to close out of the feedback tool. I don't have to do anything. And when I close out of the feedback tool, for these 3 that I already scored using the scoring guide, I can return, and now I can leave a feedback comment. I like to mention when I return, hey, look at the rubric. I tell them, look at the rubric, and I return. All right, what I would like you to please do is in the sidebar, I gave you a link to make a copy of a spreadsheet. If you would just copy it if you didn't already. And what you're gonna do is go to a different class where you're the teacher, and you're gonna create an assignment. There it is. And then you're gonna add rubric, but you're just gonna say import from sheets. When you import from sheets, it just like, hey, here's the spreadsheets in my Google Drive. Do you see it's all my spreadsheets? Even pulls up forms for some weird reason. Those are just all my spreadsheets. So here's my trick, you guys. I always put the word rubric in the title. I always put the word rubric in the spreadsheet title so that I can go up here in my spreadsheets and I type in rubric and it gets rid of all my spreadsheets and only shows me the rubrics.
Okay, perfect.
That's my trick. I just select the rubric and it sticks it in there. All 46 ridiculous points. Yeah, it pops it open to edit. So Gabby, you can either change the spreadsheet. They don't link, Gabby, you import. So if you changed on the spreadsheet and then import from sheets, that'll work. Or just import from sheets and edit.
Okay.
It will not change the spreadsheet.
We have to do that?
You don't have to, no. I'm just giving you a chance to try it if you would like to.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last thing I'd like to show you is I have made alicekeeler.com/GC rubric. I will put that down. Whoops. I'll put that in the chat.
But I cannot create this. I have to go to another class, right?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, but just jot these down, the GC rubric and the GC scoring. These, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I like this better. So what I do is I go to alicekeeler.com/GC rubric and I just make a spreadsheet. That's what I do. I don't make it in classroom because it's tedious. You all saw how tedious it was.
Yes.
And I'm gonna call this delete sample rubric, whatever. So now what I'm gonna do, it says title, this is the criterion. So I'm like, uses glitter, has glitter. You'll notice that I put meets, approaches, below, and incomplete for you.
Yeah.
If you don't want incomplete, you want missing, notice what it does. It automatically matches them. So the next one, critical thinking. Do some thinking. Then in these pink ones, I'm like, did thinking. Thought about thinking. Might have thought. Not a thought in your head. Right? Do you see how much faster it is for me to fill this out? Lots of glitter. Tab. Some glitter. Tab. Tiny bits of glitter. Thanks, Lauren. No glitter. What do we want to have on this one? Name. Put your name on it. Name on it. Name near it. I can tell who it is. Who are you? Okay, I'm done. All you have to do, because it's going to keep doing this, it's going to keep giving you another title and description. All you have to do is delete the word title and delete the word description.
But how do we get that? We have to organize it, yeah, right?
So notice when I changed the title to use a pencil. It automatically adds another row for you.
Uh-huh.
If you
But-
don't want that, just delete it.
But you have there like a coding bar, like,
Oh, I have some formulas, Claudia. I have some
Yeah.
formulas. I got real
Okay.
fancy.
I can copy them.
Yeah, yes, you can. And you know, you just start with that. So then what do I have to do? Nothing. Nothing. I just need to like type it and close it because it's in a spreadsheet. So when I go into Google Classroom and I create an assignment and you know, whatever the assignment is, and I'd say rubric, I import it from Sheets. It's right there. I just made it.
Okay.
I do nothing special. So you make a copy, fill it out, and then go import it. Done. That's all you got to do. There it is. Glitter, critical thinking, put your name on it. Look how much faster that was. Now,
But
if
we don't need to put it like in formula, like you did.
Yeah.
I can just type it and that's it.
yeah. Yes.
So I can have a template when I learn how to do that.
Yes. So practice it. Let me know how it goes.
Okay. But I
So
have to,
those are,
I
I
have-
think I got all
I
the
don't know
basics.
how to code. I'm learning. I'm just learning from you.
Yes. That's my goal, Claudia. Lauren, you're definitely welcome to take any of my things and turn them into Hebrew. So if I didn't code any of that, there's no coding. All of that is conditional formatting and spreadsheet formulas.
Okay. I really don't know about that, so I'm learning about that.
Well, that's why you just let me make them.
Conditional formatting, yes.
Yeah.
I asked you the other day about the colors, and you told me that.
Conditional formatting is the best.
And I've never used it. Yeah, I'm using it now
Try this.
because of you. Yes.
In a spreadsheet, you right click on a cell or group of cells, and at the very bottom it says conditional formatting. So try playing with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.